My name is Anthony Ferrante. I am the Global Head of Cybersecurity and Senior Managing Director at FTI Consulting. Safe to say, artificial intelligence has gone from a marvel of the big screen to a critical part of our everyday lives today. In the 80s, we saw the integration of machine learning in which computers started to learn through experiences, running through cycles one after another until they got smarter and developed patterns. We, as human beings, are producing troves of data every day. Everything that we do, with every click, every movement, every single day. This data is ingested and used to make artificial intelligence more savvy and ultimately more intelligent. And it's critical to think about the consequences of this data collection and processing. It's been said before. In 2017, at the Enigma Security Conference, University of Washington researcher and lecturer Tamara Bonacci revealed that artificial intelligence technology could be used to essentially hack into human brains. So I'd like to talk through two concepts here: cerebral spyware and mental malware. Cerebral spyware, any application that extracts private information about users' thoughts and actions, from neural signals to decisions. Cerebral spyware isn't just looking at the stimulant and the result, it's looking at all the factors: thoughts, biological reactions. The data gathered through these means could be instrumental in predicting behavior and overall training artificial intelligence to be more helpful in reaching individuals and producing the desired effect. Mental malware, the process of affecting people with a stimulus they may not be aware of to influence their decisions or behavior. The malware is interfering with your brain, impacting your thoughts, your behavior, the decisions without you ever even realizing it. With more and more data becoming available than ever before, artificial intelligence is getting better at processing, learning, and targeting. The people behind these programs have a goal, whether it's to get you to buy something or to vote a certain way. To understand how artificial intelligence can hack the human brain, we need to first understand some fundamental principles associated with artificial intelligence. First, machine learning. The process of training a machine how to learn. The goal for machine learning is to minimize error and ultimately maximize the number of instances in which predictions are correct. Through machine learning, artificial intelligence systems learn from large sets of data to build models and find patterns that will help it make decisions and respond independently, or at least with little to no human interaction or guidance. Deep neural networks are trained through machine learning and are composed of deep learning algorithms that are specifically designed to mimic the human brain. The networks measure errors when learning and optimize themselves to the point where they can achieve the least amount of errors possible. These algorithms perform the same task over and over again, learning and improving at each turn. Artificial intelligence uses these algorithms to produce large amounts of data, recognize patterns, and ultimately solve problems. The more it learns, the stronger it becomes. The more data artificial intelligence ingests, the stronger it will become at predicting, targeting, and influencing human behavior. It's never been more important to think about the data we are producing and sharing about ourselves and how that data can be used to help us or to hurt us. I'm sure everyone in this room is very familiar with the term personally identifiable information, or PII. Ultimately, information that can be used to distinguish or trace an identity, either alone or when combined with other personal or identifying information that is linked or linkable to a specific individual. Some examples: name, social security number, date of birth. While some of these elements on their own may not seem critical, when combined, they can create a distinct profile about certain individuals. The rise in technologies and platforms that collect our data from social media, where we might share photos and updates, to Internet of Things devices that we might wear, talk to, ask questions of. This has generated a whole new category of data-based, personally identifiable information. Artificial intelligence can collect information on what you say, the tone of your voice, the websites you may click on, what you might watch, and for how long. It will create a profile on you. That profile can be leveraged for further targeting, and in some cases, malicious targeting. One of the newest frontiers in emerging technology are the voice-activated Internet of Things devices like Google Home or Amazon Alexa. While asking your smart devices about the weather, or to play a song, or to order something online may seem harmless, you're actually providing a lot more data about yourself than you might think. Let's look at 3 simple variables: identity, emotion, health. Identity. This could reveal regional accents or one's grasp of a language, from fluency to age. Voice data could also reveal information about a dialect. For example, parts of the United States, people may refer to soda as pop, cola, or tonic. Using one of these words is something that voice-activated artificial intelligence might pick up on, file away, and use in order to develop a profile of a user. Emotion. The tone of voice could signal a certain emotion. Our devices may pick up on sadness, happiness, or even excitement. In addition to mental health, there's also physical health. For example, if voice-activated artificial intelligence can learn from the sound of our voice, it might be able to hear when you're recovering from a cold based on the hoarseness of your voice or your congestion. As I mentioned earlier, we're producing more data than ever, every single day, and devices leveraging artificial intelligence technology are getting better at collecting, processing, analyzing that data to learn about us every single day. So let's go a little deeper. Let's talk about social media. Social media is a very powerful platform. Optimizes user-provided data. That data can be fed into artificial intelligence technology to learn about a user's activity and ultimately tailor their platform-based experience in a better way. All social media platforms aggregate data to develop insights. At Facebook, machine learning is key. Artificial intelligence is used to tailor news feeds so that a user sees updates from friends, pages, and groups they care about most, effectively ensuring that certain content rises above the noise. Another Facebook example is the classification of photos and video content. While it's not yet perfected, the platform learns to recognize faces and associates them with specific users, so that when you upload a photo, the platform suggests the name of the individuals featured in that image. Interesting fact, this same technology is used by law enforcement. Twitter is another social media platform that takes advantage of AI, again, to allow relevant content to rise above the noise. So what does all this mean for the future of machine learning, deep neural networks, and artificial intelligence? Remember, online experience is not necessarily limited to the time spent in front of a computer or our interactions on our mobile phones. Simply put, it's every point of engagement, active or passive, we may have with an internet-connected device. And with the rise of Internet of Things, one day we could see all this information, the user data and PII I spoke about earlier, Every click, every command, every device interaction pooled and shared across all platforms. This would be used to tailor our online experience, possibly putting us in our own virtual bubble. This is a lot of information, our personal insights, personal information that most certainly could be used against us. Let's recap for a quick sec. Mental malware is the process of affecting people with a stimulus that they may not be aware of to influence their decision or behavior. And artificial intelligence can make it more targeted than ever before. As this group knows, there is no such thing as perfect security for a computer, for an account, unfortunately, even for the human brain. But how can the private information we share with technology be used to influence us? And is there a way to mitigate that influence? Let's walk through a scenario. One day, Jane Doe pulls out her mobile device and searches for a place to eat at her local mall. A few hours later, Jane is online working on her laptop when she is presented with an advertisement for a restaurant at her local mall. Of course, this isn't a coincidence. It's by design, and it's driven by artificial intelligence. Later that day, Jane arrives at her local mall and sees the restaurant from the online advertisement. In summary, Jane's search produced data that was then leveraged by artificial intelligence to target her with a specific advertisement, one that might influence her decision, as we know, where to get lunch that day at the mall. Let's talk about some malicious uses. With today's technology, convincing people to buy a product can be just as easy as getting them to cast their ballot for a certain candidate. The 2016 US presidential election was a perfect example of how artificial intelligence can be used to hack the human brain. The most impactful event leading into the 2016 US presidential election was the large-scale disinformation campaign coordinated by foreign actors. This was done in an attempt to influence American voters. As early as 2014, Russian agents purchased space on digital advertising platforms with the goal of polarizing American voters on banner issues like race, policing, gun control, and religion, among others. Russia effectively executed a strategic, premeditated scheme to create chaos and disorder and to pit Americans against each other. The extent, sophistication, and persistence of Russian interference on the hearts and minds of Americans cannot be understated or overlooked. Hacking the human brain is exactly what Russia was able to accomplish. When it comes to malicious actors, leveraging this technology is the new normal. As I've implied throughout this presentation, every interaction we have with internet-connected technology produces data, information that could be leveraged by malicious actors. This might include gathering intelligence about an individual through their conversations, purchases, browsing history, among others. Targeting users the way Russia did in 2016 with a massive disinformation campaign. Covertly sowing discord among vulnerable populations. Using compromising data to extort individuals for confidential information or compensation. Malicious actors could weaponize data by leveraging artificial intelligence to achieve their goals. We must also consider how malicious actors can compromise artificial intelligence as any other internet-connected technology. For example, an autonomous vehicle could misinterpret street signs. Artificial intelligence to treat mental health issues. Alterations to an algorithm could result in a misdiagnosis. A whole new set of problems are presented before us. We need to start thinking about how information can be used, right? It's a new charter. It's a new ask of everyone. Where are we generating data? How are we generating data? And how can that data be used? Artificial intelligence is evolving very quickly, so get ready. Understand the point which we sacrifice safety and security for comfort and convenience. There is no central authority or central entity that is tracking and reporting all this, like I said, data generation and collection. I think organizations are doing this for their own financial benefit at this point.